Oh my God, what the hell is this? He's gonna try it! And will this be enough? My God, ready to take it!
What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Ruckus Wrastlin. I am Josh Maber, alongside my tag team partner in this journey, Justin Toner. How are we doing today, sir?
Not bad at all. Very interesting week of wrestling.
Mm-hmm. So to me, it was kind of much more of like, it was much more building the undercard, because you've kind of already sold your main events at this point.
Some good, some stuff not so good.
Nope.
I'm gonna be honest.
But just speaking about stuff that's not so good, and it's not that it was bad product, is Asuka is injured. Suffered a knee injury, and anytime you hear knee injury these days, it never is good. Seth fortunately came out on the positive side when you hear someone have a knee injury, but Shotzi, no, pretty much any injury that you're like, oh no, ends up being a oh no. Any update on that? How'd she injure it? And, any other scuttlebutt out there, any dirt sheets that are telling us what seems truth and what's not?
It happened at some point on Smackdown. People noticed that she was limping at one point. It happened at some point during the match between Bayley and Dakota in the main event. And she was supposed to be on certain some house shows over the weekend, but she was pulled. So at this point, nobody knows how severe the injury is. There's no word. All I know is that it looked like she got hurt. We don't know how serious it is. Hopefully it is not, because a lot of superstars have gone down with knee injuries, and some of them have turned out to be ACL or MCL injuries. And which means you're out for a while.
Unfortunately.
So fingers crossed, because that will probably mess up any kind of potential WrestleMania plans for the women's tag team titles if she is severely injured.
Not necessarily, because they probably might do a Dakota takeover if Dakota is fully healthy in this situation.
It's like she is, because of she actually wrestled this week, right. So she is cleared, which is a good thing. Happy for her.
Right. So they might do that just because of the faction. Now, obviously, it's not technically the Freebird rule, because there's 4 of them and not 3 in the faction. But, just for this situation, they might. It's the easiest route to go at this point.
Yeah.
For that, if Asuka cannot be at WrestleMania. But I hope we get positive news. We've been trying to look at it, but that's kind of the big one that we've seen that happens there. Let me see. Yeah. It feels like every time anytime the tag team titles and have a good run, one of the tag team partners gets injured. It's kind of crazy on that. Or, the tag team just quits the company and one comes back and one goes on to be the highest paid female wrestler. So, that happens there. But no, we're hoping Asuka comes back. If not, probably Dakota Kai, in which she just came back from an ACL injury. The last thing we need is to her get in a match and then her get re-injured, pushing it too fast.
Especially with, how major damage control is right now after they turned on Bayley and kicked her out.
Right. Which is exactly what that faction needed to get that boost.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and them showing up on both SmackDown and Raw because of the women's championships definitely has definitely on a decent, solid run right now.
Yeah, actually, our buddy Jared Miller has a good point. It's like there's been a lot of injuries over the last 2 years that have happened to someone who's held the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. It's like you wonder if there's some kind of curse on them, and it's happened ever since Sasha Banks and Naomi staged their walkout under protest.
Yeah.
So it's like, actually, one of the few. It's like the only time that something didn't really bad happen while someone was holding the women's tag team titles was when Becky had them last year with Lita for a while. Nothing happened to either of them, thankfully. But it's like,
No.
it's like
Liv Morgan got injured when she was teaming with Raquel. Then who was teaming?
Sonya Deville.
Sonya Deville with Chelsea Green.
For her ACL.
Yeah.
Which
congratulations, Sonya. She did get married a month ago.
Piper Niven got injured was out for a bit. And, it's like Raquel also.
Right.
But that was more with illness / condition than like an injury.
Yeah.
It's like, so it's just like you're just like, geez.
Right. And speaking of Raquel,
speaking of her, she is. She has not been seen. She was in the Elimination Chamber match with the women at Elimination Chamber in Perth, and then she wrestled a match where she squashed Chelsea Green on the following Raw, but she has not been seen on TV since. And word is that she's been removed from the active roster list, which means she's on the injured list or inactive list for the time being. And probably the only explanation would be, she did have a flare-up of her condition. It was very noticeable during the match. She still went on Wrestling anyway, so it's like more power to her. It wasn't like a major. It didn't look like it was a major one. It was just like it was just like you're saying, they couldn't put makeup on her because of what was happening. So the flare must have gotten a little bit worse, and so she's she's currently out of action for the time being. And it's unfortunate. It's something she's got to deal with. There is no cure. It's like for this what's the abbreviation for it? MCAS. It's just she can get treatment for it, and she just gotta she's gotta live with it, unfortunately, for the rest of her life. She was shown getting like a hyperbaric chamber. Apparently that kind of helps. So she posted that on social media recently. So hopefully that's helping. So we'll see. Don't know how long. No word on how long she's going to be out. So we'll also see that it sucks because she's very talented, and this has definitely put a big stumbling block in her ability to be able to get anywhere. It's like so.
Yeah. Chris Taylor, give Chelsea Green both belts. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, exclusive club there for that. And the one thing that the vignettes I'm going around, and I never realized a trailer would hit me so much. I watch a lot of trailers. We all watch a lot of trailers being movie guys here, but that Bray Wyatt trailer with the Bo Dallas voiceover, it's just it still doesn't hit right. It still doesn't feel real. It still doesn't feel real that Bray Wyatt is no one.
I know it's
that Wyndham is not with us, and it sucks still. And it's gonna be narrated by the Undertaker. Just like, oh god, this thing's gonna be awesome. It sucked at the same time.
Yeah. So on April 1st, WWE is gonna drop a documentary about Bray Wyatt's life. Bray Wyatt becoming immortal. It'll be exclusively on Peacock. This one is it's like this is definitely going to be one of those tearjerker ones. It's like it's guaranteed. It's like if you're not feeling something by the end of this, it's like I question if you are a human being. It's going to be definitely emotional. The press release mentioned that a lot of people that were either fond of him or pretty close with him are going to be interviewed. Mentioned that people interviewed for it include Triple H, of course, Hulk Hogan, Cena, Becky Lynch. It's like it was Seth Rollins was featured in it. Becky and Seth are both very close with him. They took it really hard, and of course, his brother. But known as Bo Dallas' real name, Taylor Rotunda. is going to be obviously heavily involved. So his father, Mike Rotunda, who's as previously announced, is going into the Hall of Fame with Barry Windham for their tag team work. So, yeah, this one's going to be really emotional. Like, there's going to be some really good stuff. And, I saw Alexa Bliss was in the trailer, too, which, of course, makes sense. You know, it's like the stuff that she did with Bray, and, which she said was some of the most fun character work she's ever done. She was really enjoyed the time that she worked with Bray. You know, it's like where she went cray-cray. So, yeah, it's like it's yeah, it's gonna be, especially when it get to the end, you know, him passing away. It's like there's gonna be a lot of crying from the people that are gonna be interviewed for this. You know, it's like
so. It's like one of those. It's like going in to watch Iron, the story about the Von Erichs, and just like, all right, gotta watch it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like it's like Iron Claw was really good, but it's like at the end you're just like, oh man, you know, just all the tragedy. You know, it's like,
The good thing about Iron Claw with the tragedy was the fact of all the videos you saw of people, like the TikToks and stuff, of people who had no clue, saw Zac Efron, went and saw it, and then their reaction afterwards, I mean, they're just a pool. And they were like, and this was a true story. I'm like, yeah, it's a shit. That family is Shakespeare. If Shakespeare wrote a play about a family, unfortunately, it was a true story. So
yeah, everybody give Chris Taylor. Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see, hear a lot about where he came up with the ideas for his various characters. You know, from swamp cult leader Bray to the Fiend, you know, the Uncle Howdy stuff. You know, it's like just also I'm looking forward to more, because I've heard some stuff from Cena about the Firefly Funhouse match they did at WrestleMania, which was. That was different and very creative.
Yeah.
It's like
we finally got NWO Cena for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, which was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that's another thing. We'll probably see some of that. You know, it's like it's just going to add more to the tearjerkerness. You know, it's like it's kind of messed up that the only member of the Wyatt family that's still alive is Braun Strowman.
Well, no, Eric Rowan.
Oh, in Rowan, yeah, but
still, you have two of the four. Two have already passed away at like under 40 or like right around 40. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly, Jerry. It's like it's gonna be fun hearing about how his mind works. It's like he just came up with just very like creative outside the box ideas that were you're just like, wow, that it's like the Fiend stuff, like the Mr. Rogers Bray in the Firefly Funhouse with the puppets and everything. That was like, it's like that immediately got my attention, and that debuted not long after I started watching again. So it's like it sucked me in right out. I was like, okay, this is different. And then like the Mr. McMahon puppet and how he portrayed him. I was like, oh man, it's supposed to be really okay with getting made, because like this is definitely.
And he had him saying that's good shit.
Yeah. It's like it's like he said that more than once. It's like one of my favorite gifts is when he says it during the Firefly Funhouse match with Cena, because he's at the announce desk.
Right. It was a parody. That's why it's so.
Yeah, it was a parody of them.
It's a parody of every type of character that Bray did.
Yep.
And on top of the business, and saying that when the pig would say something and Vince would be like, "That's good shit," even though it was.
And plus, it having devil horns is a little bit more accurate than we realized.
Right.
Like my favorite is still like when he was like complaining about that I think it was when the stuff with Seth started to happen, and he was worried, as like he was complaining to him, and Bray just pulled out a wad of $100 bills and just fed them into his mouth.
Yeah.
It's like no, money's coming, Vince.
Right.
Oh, okay, buddy. Okay, no problem.
Yeah. And then Vince let him do everything, realized he's making money, and then was like, Goldberg, go destroy the Fiend. Thank you.
Yeah.
And all that. But no,
Yeah.
just kind of
Yeah,
get to
it's
some
amazing how cool the Fiend was, and then they completely fucked it up.
yeah. Yeah, I did not know this. Is that true? They're dropping the it's on April Fool's Day?
Yes, it is. It like I said, it's debuting April 1st on day after Easter. Yeah. Definitely one of the most creative, I think. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely up there. It was everyone is like that, and like the Boneyard match were just very smart and creative stuff that they cooked up because of the pandemic happened, and and they couldn't have a normal WrestleMania with fans. So
yeah, and shout out to Matt Hardy because he kind of led the way on how to do those type of things.
Yeah, they went for the cinematic stuff that Matt pioneered with his broken character and stuff in TNA and in the Independence. But yeah, like it's unfortunate because like that Hell in a Cell match against Seth was the first nail in the coffin, and then him jobbing to Goldberg was the final nail in the coffin. It's just
and that gets set on fire and all the other stuff with
Orton. Yeah,
with Orton was pretty bad.
Yeah.
So, and it's not Bray's fault.
No,
at that point, I think it was just people.
That you can blame Vince.
Yeah, no, Vince. When they did the I think it was the
and putting the title, but having him win the Universal title was a major mistake. You should never. It's like then it's like because he was portrayed as like old school Undertaker, like how am I supposed to defeat this guy? It's like he's like he's no selling everything. Looks like he's impervious to pain. It's like that's they put themselves into a corner when they put the title on him, and it's like I saw people calling it. They're like if they put the title on him, it's like it's over. It's like they should not be putting the title on him, and they did. And
right. And one of the other things, I forgot what I was saying, but because I saw this comment. Cena actually came out and said that they had a whole actual match figured out, and then they had to pivot to the 5-5 Funhouse because of the pandemic. So Cena's come out and said he didn't say the exact details of what they were going to do. I mean, I still think Cena would have had the Fiend go over, or Bray Wyatt go over. Anyway.
Oh yeah, he would. But it would have been like a normal match.
Would have been a normal match. Would have been a 5-second squash match that Cena did with the Undertaker
because it was him completely doing a mindfuck to Cena as payback.
Yeah. So it was. It's just one of those ones you go back and watch. And the Boneyard match that was a fun one with AJ in the OC.
Yeah.
On there. Anything else on that one before we move on?
No, let's move on.
A couple of things. Okay. Nick Aldis came out of nowhere. Apparently he does physical stuff. But
somehow he got injured, even though he's not wrestling currently.
Yeah, he got shoulder surgery, right?
He ruptured a bicep tendon somehow.
It's kind of like the CM Punk thing. That's what they said. Like it was kind of like a CM Punk injury type thing.
Something similar. He's got his arm in a sling. Like the reports came out about it, and then it's like not long after he posted on social media, he said, "Yes, I just got out of surgery for a ruptured bicep tendon. Yes, the sheets had it within minutes. God bless him. Must be a slow news day. Anyway, It was a freak accident. I'm on the mend, and I will continue to fill my obligations." So
I blame Mickey James.
I mean, obviously it sucks for Nick. It's like, but since he's not currently wrestling, he's just playing the GM on-screen character. He can just have his arm in a sling. He'll be on TV. So it's like so it's not going to be an impairment.
Yeah.
So they were willing to have him wrestle. That's not going to happen just yet. So there we go.
A couple other things just to kind of end on before we move on to the breakdowns and the reviews. They came up the numbers that Mercedes Moné's debut, her segment was about 800,000, which is fine. We wish it was 1 million, but people want to crap on it for crapping on it. I don't care. Good stuff's good stuff.
Her her debut last week went over 1 million. This week, when she
Okay.
opened the show, it was about 800,000.
Okay, sorry, got my numbers a little messed up, but yeah, I mean, and she, like we talked about 2 weeks ago, and then this week, as we know, she's different. So, and it's cool to see a female draw like she is drawing when people never thought this would ever happen. And them putting her in that position to draw like she is drawing for that. And she better draw for apparently she is now the highest, which doesn't surprise us because she went to AEW right instead of WWE. And I think that's what she was just going for. She kind of went to Scott Hall. I've got enough friends, as we saw where Bailey and Naomi and Tamina showed up, that she is now, she is reportedly the highest paid female wrestler
on the roster is what the word is.
Well, I thought between any female wrestler between WWE and AEW.
I don't know. All I know it's like nobody knows the exact numbers, but she's getting paid a lot.
Yeah, Okada makes sense. He's getting paid way a lot of money. And then Ospreay, he probably got paid a good amount of money, but it's more of the schedule. We always knew schedule was a big thing. That's why Ospreay took forever to come away from New Japan, because he didn't really like to move around a lot, and didn't like that schedule that WWE did. That's never been a secret on Ospreay.
Yeah, no, and it's like people said that's the big. It's like he's going to talk to W, but the big obstacle will be like the schedule. It's like, and that they'll be like, we're going to need you to hit stateside. It's like you got to live here in the States. It's like, and that was but Tony offered him more money, and then B, his family didn't have to leave England. It's like, so it's, he's got, this kid can stay in school and not get uprooted, and he also can get to work stuff in Japan on the fly whenever he feels like again. Which he wouldn't be able to do with WWE. So it's like
right. and I don't know if you saw on Twitter, but Matt and his wife were spotted at Raw, and they made it public to know that. And his contract's coming up, and I'm like, it's the same old story of he feels like he's being underutilized at AEW. But the thing is, from the cards that AEW is putting out right now, what are you supposed to? They don't need him.
No,
I don't want to be that guy, but they don't need him.
Yeah, no, it's like him and his brother Jeff are going to go into the WWE Hall of Fame someday, which they deserve because they're one of the greatest tag teams of all time. That era of them, the Dudley Boys and Edge and Christian, was absolutely incredible when they were all feuding with each other over the tag team titles from 2000 into 2001. It's like, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have the TLC match. Right. It's like,
wasn't the first triple threat ladder match at WrestleMania 17, and that's why people look at it as one of the best?
No, that was WrestleMania 2000.
Okay.
Then they were like, okay, how can we up the ante? And then they created the first. They did the first TLC match at SummerSlam later in the year, and then they were like, no, we can even top that, and so they did the second TLC at WrestleMania X7. Which yes, it did that. They exceeded the first one. It's like by leaps and bounds.
Yeah, but that was the reason why X7 is regarded as the best WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's because it's why it's considered one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time, if not the greatest. It's like, and that match is one of the reasons.
Clearing up a couple comments here from our good friend Jeremy Miller. Let me see that once we already done. Let's see. Yeah, casual fans might not be aware she changed her name. It's and then you're gonna have the tribalism stuff on Twitter.
Tribalism is really bad right now.
It's just dumb and stupid. And the fact I still don't understand. I guess John Ross Sapp just has fun, just clapping back at people.
He is. He's having fun with the trolls, and I appreciate it.
Yeah. So just he's been talking about Mercedes Moné going to AEW for like the whole year, and people are like, "You're dumb, you're wrong, you're dumb, you're wrong, you're dumb, you're wrong," and then he shows up and he's like,
"They did the same thing when he's like, I'm here." It's like CM Punk may go back to WWE. Oh no way, that'll never happen. What happened in Survivor Series?
Right, exactly. He's getting $4 million a year for 3 years.
Yeah,
4.3. I think it's a little bit over that, but give or take of 100,000 here or there. But,
And Tony can afford it.
yep. Oh, he can afford it. And I did not know this. Is this true?
No, I haven't heard anything about that. I guess maybe that's a new rumor.
Okay.
That's probably wild speculation because it's like he's still under contract. His contract is not up yet, so it's like he can't even really talk to WWE until his contract is expired.
But
It's like WWE is being very careful about that stuff because they pissed Tony off with talking to Swerve and some other people while they were still under fucking contract.
Right.
It's like
tampering, dog.
Now there's no, in wrestling there's nothing in between other companies about contract tampering. It was just like an unwritten courtesy rule, and
Right.
so they don't want to piss off Tony again like that.
No.
They're
Broken Matt, Broken Matt, or heard that Broken Matt on NXT. If that's he just wants Broken Matt on NXT. If it's true,
I think Gift just wants to see Broken Matt go to NXT. Oh yeah, he'd fit right in with the crazy guys that are already there with Joe Gacy and Sean Spears.
Yep, and Sean Spears. Yep, and we haven't got to the review, and I'm interested to see the breakdown of it. But NXT, I just have this weird feeling that Sean Spears is going to have that feud, and then he's going to get him to join up with Sean Spears. That whole thing.
Yeah, that immediately. Yeah, we'll get into it, but that immediately got my attention.
Yeah. So on that. Oh,
one other. I just saw this posted online. Good news. The Mrs. Wife Maurice posted.
Oh yes, I did see
Instagram.
that. Thank you for bringing it up.
She gave an update because it was back in February. She revealed that she was going to have to get her ovaries, uterus, everything removed because they found tumors. And also have to get her lymph nodes in her abdomen removed that somebody had taken out to be tested to make sure that the cancer had not spread. So she posted today saying that 2 weeks ago she went in and had the surgery done, and pathology confirmed. Good news, she's tumor free, so they did not spread. So they got all of it out of there. She did have the tumors that they suspected they did. The type of tumors she got are pretty rare. Like it only happens to like 7 out of every 1 million women in the U.S. every day per year. And that they caught them early, because if they had not caught them early, those kind of tumors are normally lethal. Mm-hmm. So she's resting up. She thanked all the fans and her family, of course, for her support. So that's good news. That it's like, so they got all the cancer out. She is cancer free for the time being, and she's got to recover. So because like it's really rough, It's like so, it's a good thing that her and the Miz already had 2 children because she had to get everything removed. She will not be able to have any more children. So, but what's important is that she's cancer free and she's going to be okay. So,
yeah.
So happy for the Miz and their family.
Yep.
Good news.
All right. Well, thank you. Yeah, I just saw that, but I didn't see any details. It was literally right before we were about to go live, and I just saw that. So thank you for filling that in, because that's a good one on there. So let's move on to.
Oh wait, one other thing.
Go ahead.
Just real quick. Did you hear about Ronda Rousey's got her own memoir? It's like people are getting memoirs. I mean,
I've been seeing the Ronda Rousey stuff. I just didn't know if you wanted to. I picked up Becky's last weekend. I found it at Barnes and Noble. So I'm gonna be reading that in the near future because I'm a big Becky fan. So, but apparently Ronda's coming out with her own memoir. Some experts have already come out, and boy, does she not hold back about. She says she's made it clear. She is very fond of Triple H and Stephanie and just about all the wrestlers on the roster. But Vince McMahon, she right off the bat, she refers to him as the Emperor Palpatine of WWE. So I think that tells you all you need to know about what she thinks of him. So she didn't hold back about how awful
Vince was, and mentioned about, she heard stories about the couch culture, people in certain positions of power using their position to try to get sexual favors on women. So yeah, she is unleashed. It's like, she says, she saw another ranking where she was interviewed. She goes, she doesn't hold any ill will toward her. She doesn't plan on going back. She doesn't think she'll ever go back. Triple H, she says, everybody in WWE was really good except for two people, Bruce Pritchard and John Laurinaitis. She said they can go fuck themselves.
Surprise, surprise. And speaking about John Laurinaitis, he acknowledged the situation, and now he's basically being summoned to talk about it. So I don't know what it means in legal terms of when you acknowledge something. I thought you just basically was like, hey, I think you're. They went through the legal stuff to make they basically have him do a testimony or whatever it is that the legal stuff is. It's that like you're not on trial, but come in and do whatever.
That's why hopefully Bruce Pritchard will be the next person to go bye-bye.
Yep. Oh, and and last little thing. We were right when we talked about it last week. Booker was just being Booker. CM Punk stuff.
You called it.
Yeah.
It's like there was nothing to it. It was a bunch of it was something blown out of proportion that he basically was like, it was basically like clickbait, I guess. It's like he kind of apologized.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's move on to SmackDown, shall we?
Yes.
Hopefully, I clicked the right thing, like I haven't been able to the past 2 weeks.
Hello. Here's a recap of what happened on last week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. Show opened with The Rock coming out and bringing back an old staple of his Hollywood Rock days, the Rock concert, where he sang songs trashing Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins ahead of the tag team match against him and Roman Reigns night one of WrestleMania. Then he ended it with promising Cody's mom that he's not going to finish the story and that the only belt that she's going to get handed to her is a belt from The Rock coated in Cody's blood, and that he'll tell her that she's welcome. All right. Then we had qualifying matches for determine who was going to get into the six-pack ladder match for the undisputed tag team titles at WrestleMania. In the first qualifying match, Legado del Fantasma defeated the LWO. We move on to the next round. Randy Orton took on Grayson Waller in a one-on-one match. Waller in theory tried to beat down Orton afterwards at Logan Paul's direction, but Kevin Owens came out and made the save. And then Nick Aldis informed Logan Paul that he would be defending the United States title at WrestleMania against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens in a triple threat match, leaving him less than pleased. New Catch Republic defeated Pretty Deadly in another qualifying match for the tag team ladder match. More qualifying matches will take place in next week's episode of SmackDown. Then we had in the main event, it was Bayley taking on Dakota Kai of Damage Control as part of the ongoing feud after Dakota revealed she was still with them and turned on Bayley last week. Nice to see Dakota Kai back in the ring after being out for almost a year injured. Back and forth action, but eventually Io Sky was caught by the Wrath attacking Bayley, which caused a disqualification win for Bayley. Damage Control did a 4-1 beatdown of Bayley after the match as expected. Naomi ran up, tried to help Bayley, but she was outnumbered still and got beaten down, and then they beat up on Bayley some more. Fans chanted for Bianca, the ST, to show up to help, but she did not. And the heels stood tall over the baby faces to close out the show. So those are pretty much the most important things that happened on this week's episode of Friday Night Smack. Oh, wait, there was one other match, sorry. There was Santos Escobar taking on Dragon Lee. And Santos picked up a victory in only 2 minutes. And afterwards, Carlito and Rey Mysterio came out to help Dragon Lee avoid a Legado del Fantasma beatdown, and Mysterio challenged Santos to a match next week. Okay, so that covers everything that happened on last week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown.
I guess that was a really memorable match then, right?
Santos Escobar and Dragon Lee only getting 2 minutes is fucking criminal.
Yeah, it's dumb.
It's like, that's bullshit. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm gonna call
when
it.
you have The Rock on the show and he takes up an hour.
Yeah.
That being said, when that Hollywood theme hit, I know it's corny and he does it, but
everybody was over the moon on social media. They're like, oh, Hollywood Rock theme, yes.
I mean, it works for the now.
It's
like, and plus it gives that nostalgia feeling, and his like when that hit, and with the presentation they have, and
it's working to a little bit maybe too good is that they were cheering despite the fact that he was trashing Cody, and they only kind of booed at the end.
Yeah. It's all right. That Cody promo, and we're all kind of made up for it. So,
yeah, Cody got to fire back really good on Raw, thankfully.
Yeah,
because he really needed to, because Rock's stealing a lot of the spotlight here. It's I've seen some people complain about that, and there's some valid points. It's this seems to be more about The Rock right now, and like you haven't really spent much time about the fact Cody's trying to take the title back from Roman. It's like
you noticed that too, huh?
Yeah, that's a problem. They need to fix quick, and they're kind of hopefully start addressing it with Cody and Roman have a little face to face on SmackDown tomorrow. So
yeah,
but
that's my main thing right now.
I'm like, that's a problem.
Yeah, because I thought the main event for WrestleMania 40 was Cody versus Roman.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole time, it was just Cody versus The Rock, which is fine, but it's Roman.
Yeah, lately it seems it's more about, you think that Cody and Rock were having a one-on one match. No, they're just in a tag match, which is stipulation on the line for the title match on night 2. So it's just like, yeah, I think I know it's pretty obvious. It's like who's it's like Rock has got leeway.
It's not that I'm not entertained, obviously. I mean,
what he was doing was working. It's like he had some really good stuff, and it's like the stuff he was saying to Cody's mom was pretty like, it's like, oh damn, dude. It's like
yeah,
there's some vicious stuff, but it's like they need to get the focus back on what's actually really more important. It's like, so we shall see.
It'd be really crazy if they would just let Cody win last year, and then we'd have The Rock and Roman, and then
we could have had Rock and Roman, and no one would have complained.
Nope, not at all. But that's just no here nor there.
And
you've got to make up.
Yeah,
yep. You just got to. They're making the best of it.
Yep.
But on that, and speaking about terrible builds, Bailey, can we do something?
Yeah.
Anything.
It's got at least it's starting to go somewhere where like at least like Naomi is like trying to decide to help her, because no one else obviously gives two shits because of everything that her and Damage Control did while she was when she started the faction and everything. It's like, I know the fans were chanting for Bianca to come out, but it's like, did you not see what Bianca said last week? She doesn't give a fuck about Bailey.
Nope. Bailey
she feels that Bailey's getting exactly what she deserves. She can go pound sand.
Right.
So she's not going to lift a finger to help her.
Yeah. So I get what it makes sense for like story wise, which is something that WWE never acknowledged for forever.
But like
now,
the numbers,
it's like
her being outnumbered and getting beat up is getting tiresome. So it's like something's got to change here. It's like.
This made me remember when the NWO started getting stale. It was like every time here's this person, and then they just got beat up and there was nothing. And there was just every week Hulk Hogan was like, I think what we should do, brother, is they come out and then we come out and beat them up. And he had and let's do the next week. All right, brother, here's the deal. Then DDP comes out and then we beat them up. And it just, that became stale to me back then. This is what it kind of feels like. It's just like, Bailey, the odds are against you.
I assume that was probably about what I said about earlier with the Rock. Yeah,
but Broken
appreciate
Matt.
it.
But Broken Matt. He was wanting him on NXT. Yeah. Yeah. So that's just the one thing that stuck out to me. It's like the fans finally got behind Bayley. That she finally won the Royal Rumble, and Holly was, and then they basically the internet had to tell them, hey, put her on the freaking poster.
That's why I think Dakota pretending to be our side and then turning on her that quickly was a mistake, and I was worried they were going to do that, and they did.
We talked about that. We were like, we kind of brought that up. It was like, do you think Dakota's going to turn her? I was like, it's not a good decision if they do. I think she will, but at WrestleMania.
Yeah. I was like, oh, the logical thing was that she looks like she's on her side for until WrestleMania, and then she stabs her in the back. Instead, it was only 2 weeks. So it's like as soon as that happened, I was just like, damn it.
They're going to get criticized anyway because once Dakota turned on her at WrestleMania, people would be like, saw that coming from a mile away. Yeah, but at least we wouldn't be running through the kicking the tires every week. Which I'd rather have a solid build and her turn on them just because we've watched wrestling enough to know how these beats work than being like, I'd rather have a good build, and this build is just very lacking.
My only guess that what may happen next, this is not guaranteed, this is just me speculating. A week or two ago, they damaged Control in the back not long after Dakota turned on Bayley and showed that she was still on Damage Control's side. They ran afoul of Jade Cargill in the back. So
that would make sense. I mean, they got to do something with her for WrestleMania,
because
right?
she just got here. She doesn't have, like Naomi, she was not around when Damage Control was, running roughshod over the women's division on both shows. So she doesn't have a grudge against Bayley, and she's already shown that Damage Control is already mouthed off at her. So
yeah,
because I think that's the only way to kind of like even up the odds, and since Bianca's out of not going to lift a finger to help her.
Yeah.
So the only other person right now on the roster that helping her would make the fans go crazy would be Jade.
Right. Yeah. It should be LA Knight and Logan Paul. I'm just more and more convinced it should have been LA Knight and Logan Paul. It's still gonna be fine, but
it's still gonna be a damn good match if they get enough time, because AJ and LA Knight are both damn good. And they're cutting good promos, and it's like it makes sense. It's like why AJ hates LA Knight so much. It makes sense. It's like, but it feels like it's a waste of both their time.
Yeah,
but they should. It feels like they should have gotten some more, especially LA Knight. Him beating AJ, it'll be a nice WrestleMania for him, but it's like he should still be in some kind of title picture at this point. It's like he's still one of the most over baby faces in WWE right now, still, despite what's going on. So it's like,
yeah. So, yes. See here.
That's an interesting thought.
Sorry, we clicked on the same thing. We clicked.
Sorry. That's an interesting thought. Jeremy. We shall see. Yeah. It's. I'm glad it's going. It's the WrestleMania match special. It's like so I think the odds are Logan Paul's not going to lose the title.
I think he's pinning.
Because if he was taking Randy 1-on-1, Randy's winning. Right. But now it's triple threat. That it gives him a way to try to be able to escape with the title.
Yeah, here's the finish. KO gets RKO'd, and then Logan does a brass knuckles to Randy Orton, and steals the pin.
Yeah. It's like he's and plus he's got friggin' Grayson Waller and Austin Theory as his buddy lackeys. So it's like he's got backup.
Yeah. So.
It's still being a hell of a match, though.
Yeah. And the LWO stuff, where's the end game here with this?
Yeah, I know. And you think that, I don't know, I was kind of surprised that when Ray was like, I was like, okay. And next week I said, wait, what? Not at WrestleMania. Okay. Unless this is like a swerve and like the match like doesn't go as planned, or it leads to something more definitive at WrestleMania, because it's like, it's a lot. This feud between the two factions lost a little bit of steam. Ray coming back definitely is a good thing, but they still need to kick it back up a notch.
Yeah.
And again, dragging Lee and Santos Escobar only getting 2 fucking minutes should not be happening at all.
Right.
Bullshit.
I thought he's won everything, hasn't he? Other than 24/7 or something.
I don't know. He's been tag champion, Intercontinental champion, or world champion, WWE champion. I don't remember if he's won U.S. title.
He's been in 17 factions. Got to remember that.
I mean, he's a great slammer already, so it's just like
right. And then pulling another not at WrestleMania card. Yeah, I mean that's where I'm thinking the LWO stuff is just gonna unfortunately go, unless they have a weird 8-man, with the women and everything involved with it, because you got to do something, because you got 2 nights, man. You got 2 nights, and you got to cover 3 hours a night.
Yes, he has been United States champion one time before.
Okay, I thought he's been a Grand Slam champion. So
yeah,
not like the Miz, who has been a 2-time Grand Slam champion, which still kills me. That the Miz is a 2-time Grand Slam champion. Never thought I'd see that. But yeah, it's fine there. Anything else about SmackDown before we move on to Raw?
No, it was pretty outside of The Rock. It was a pretty mess show.
Yeah, it was pretty meh, because I mean it's The Rock. It was great. We got the Hollywood theme. It's a great promo. Great stuff there.
New Catch versus Pretty Deadly was good for the time it was given. So I was kind of confused, because it's like they said they were qualifying matches, but they're not in the ladder match. So I think what's going on is that because of they got so many teams on SmackDown, they're doing like a little mini thing.
Okay.
Because there's qualifying matches again this week, and so then the winners of this one will face Legado and New Catch, and whoever wins those matches will get the final 2 spots in the tag team ladder match. Because the Raw matches that were on Raw, the teams who won them are in.
Yeah, and with this match, speaking about, man, I think it'd be good if they give them a time. Well, they gave 2 tag teams a time on Raw. And boy,
unlike Santos Escobar, Dragon Lee getting screwed in their time. Thankfully, that did not happen with 2 of our favorite tag teams. So we'll get to that. This Raw recap.
But I do have one thing that a negative about it, but it's not that big.
All right, here's a recap of what happened on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. Show opened with a conversation between Jay and Jimmy Uso, setting up their brother versus brother match at WrestleMania. Words were exchanged. Jimmy taking the credit for Jay wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him, and that promised that his biggest moment of Jay's career will be at WrestleMania when he beats him. But Jay countered that he's going to knock the yeet out of Jimmy. So Sikoa showed up to attack, and it was 2-on-1 beatdown, but Cody Rhodes ran out to make the save. Then we had tag team qualifying match. Winner of this match would be entered into the 6-pack tag team ladder match for the undisputed tag team titles at WrestleMania. DIY taking on the Creed brothers. Banger freaking match from these 2 teams. Absolutely awesome. Go check it out if you haven't. But DIY was able to pick up the victory, and so they're going to WrestleMania. Are going to be in the ladder match. Andrade had a meeting with Judgment Day in the back, as they're considering having him join the group. We had a women's tag team match. Katana Chance, Kaden Carter taking on Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae did a lot of heel stuff during this match. Continued the heel turn. And Candice and Indy picked up the victory in only 2 minutes. Cody came out to cut a promo in response to Rock's concert on SmackDown. Really good promo from Cody, really relating to Rock, saying that Rock isn't a heel, he's just an asshole. He's nothing but a whiny bitch who brought up his mom. And really laid into it, did the good stuff. Heyman came out and offered a deal that when Cody meets Roman this week face-to-face on SmackDown, that the bloodline will not be there if Cody promises that he won't bring it back up either. And Cody said they have a deal, and he shook Heyman's hand. Ricochet defeated Dominic Mysterio in the match, despite Jay McDonough trying to interfere. Then we had a contract signing between Gunther and Sami Zayn for their Intercontinental title match. Gunther making clear he doesn't think Zayn has a chance in winning. Zayn kind of right telling him that keep dreaming. He's look at his eyes and that it looks like he's a man that believes that doesn't believe that he can defeat him at WrestleMania. Good stuff between the two of them. Then we had another qualifying match for the tag team ladder match at WrestleMania. Awesome Truth, Miz, and R-Truth taking on Indus-Sher. And Awesome Truth picked up the victory, so they are going to be in the ladder match with DIY and Judgment Day. Chad Gable went up to Sami Zayn in the back and told him that he can't beat Gunther, that Zayn's always calling through like an underdog, and Gunther won't let him do that. Drew McIntyre came out to cut a promo, but Seth Rollins came out and they had it back and forth. Really good stuff here. Especially with the Drew McIntyre's new t-shirt. Then on to the next qualifying tag team match for the ladder match at WrestleMania. New Day taking on Alpha Academy. New Day picked up the victory, so they are in the ladder match. Then we got to our main event, a last woman standing match between Becky Lynch and Nia Jax. Lots of good spots in this match. Last couple minutes were really good. Lynch was able to do a manhandle slam off the apron and put Nia through a table. Still wasn't enough to beat her, and she was all dazed. And while she was leaning on top of the announce table, Becky got up a ladder and did a Fameasser leg drop, putting Nia through the table head first. And that was enough to knock Nia out for the 10 count to give Becky the victory. Rhea Ripley came out and her and Becky had a big stare down, trading words as Raw went off the air. So the build to WrestleMania continues, and that's everything that happened on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw.
Almost forgot that. This was a really solid show.
It was a solid Raw. I wouldn't call it a home run.
No, I didn't say that. It was a solid show.
Yeah, it was a solid show.
Better than SmackDown.
Oh yeah, much better than SmackDown.
I mean, you had a solid promo from Cody. You had the last man standing match between Becky and Nia was actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Maybe that's probably why. It's because I was expecting it to be not as good, and then it actually delivered.
The last couple of minutes were like amazing, like her putting her through the table, and then the famous leg drop off the ladder, putting Nia through the announce desk and knocking her out. Great stuff.
Yeah. So do you want to start with DIY or do you want to start with Cody's promo?
I want to start with DIY Creed Brothers because holy fuck did that match go.
Oh God. When the Creed Brothers took both DIY and just threw them against each other.
Yeah. These guys have the potential to like have like one of those kind of like fight forever kind of feuds. It's like oh, DIY and the Creeds are fighting again. Hell yeah. Because these two teams have already developed amazing chemistry between each other. Like this was like approaching like pay-per-view quality stuff, and it's like it's a shame that the Creed brother is like I was miffed that they paired these two because I'm just like, ah, damn it! It's like not only it's like I love both these teams, and not only one of them is going to be in the ladder match. So,
that was my complaint, was the fact that these two face each other to go to WrestleMania when I wanted both of them in the ladder match.
right.
That was my only complaint about it. Other than that, this match was just start to finish. It was exactly the match we figured it was going to be, and it even over delivered. It was so.
Maybe
good.
there's some loophole where they can find a way to get him in, but I doubt it. But
yeah,
I'm happy for Johnny and for Ciampa because they finally get to be on WrestleMania.
Right. Yeah. I'm definitely happy for them on that. And God, just that when they picked both Johnny and Ciampa and threw them just slapped them. I was not expecting that part. I was because I was seeing like where the beats were going and like most of the time, and like them doing both the power slams and stuff like that. Like that all made sense. Who was it that Lily picked? Was it Gargano from like basically laying down to like basically squatting him all the way up?
Yeah,
like Jesus.
Yeah, and it's like we keep saying this, but it is fact. Like Giv said, Julius Creed is a star in the making. The man is a freak. He is absolutely amazing. He will be an amazing single star down the line. That boy is gifted.
Yeah.
He does amazing stuff in the ring.
Mm.
I think that would be a good idea to have that open one of the nights because the team's involved and it's a ladder match. This has potential to be a hell of a match. So, so yeah, that was the only bummer is that it's just like, oh yeah, this is gonna be an awesome match, but only one of them is gonna be able to be on the WrestleMania card. It's like so. But it's okay. Creed's just like they got time. It's like, Cody's promo. He said that was a promo he really needed to say, and I'm glad that they gave him the leeway to use some swear words.
That The Rock had a small dick.
Yep. The stuff with him, of course, is always good.
Basically, when you see black suit Cody, shit's about to go down.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I saw the black suit. I was like, oh yeah, there's not gonna be crying tonight. It's like he's gonna unleash a little bit, and he did. So
yeah.
Let's see. The Candice LeRae heel turn continues.
I'm enjoying where this is going.
It's giving him something. It's like it's working. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I almost forgot. Yeah, when he pulled out I'm gonna go Homeland already. It's like everyone was like, Bob freaking Johnny said that.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you look like, especially your WrestleMania 39 entrance. You're like, okay, Homelander.
Yeah.
So, he finally addressed it.
I think that they're gonna. It's like it's not official yet, but I think you can expect No Catch Crew to be in that ladder match. It's like that they're too good not to be in that to be there. So that was good, and the other tag team results were no surprising. Awesome Truth was going to be in this match. It's like they were not going to lose the end this year.
That being said, that finish was
hilarious.
Truth had to have set up that finish.
That's just art. That's just our truth being our truth, and it's like
that was hilarious. I was cracking up laughing for that.
Poor Alpha Academy, they just continue to be jobbers. I mean, look, I love New Day. I always love New Day, but it's like it felt like more like, well, it's New Day. We need to have New Day in it.
Yeah.
It's like honestly, I love Kofi and Xavier Woods very much. Them and Big E are New Day rocks for me for life, but I would have preferred Creed Brothers take their place. To be honest, they got all the tag title reigns. It's like they're just in there just because they're new, because of who they are, and it's not like that they're still damn good in the ring, but I'd just rather see someone else get a chance to shine. Honestly, that's like so.
I think I know where Jeremy's going with it, but I thought it was after the Sammy promo, with that. I think they're talking about the Awesome Truth entrance, that oneer. Like, I've never seen that production where they followed Sammy through Gorilla and then it stopped on Awesome Truth and DIY, and
Yeah.
then they tracked them all the way out. Is that what I think, Jeremy? That's what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Because that was when basically.
Oh no, you meant yeah, he meant
I think you meant Sammy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sammy. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
cool.
Which that whole thing, I don't know what's going on with. Let's touch on that, then I'll get to the Warner because that's just a little small production thing. With that Sammy Gunther and Chad, is it the fact that it's Sammy and Gunther's going to be a good match, and then Chad just has to be there because of the internet?
Well, she'll see. With speculation, I saw some people say is Chad plays Apollo to his Rocky, offers to help him prepare so that he has a chance of winning, and then stabs him in the back.
Okay.
That's what saw some people speculation. They could go that route. I would hope not.
Yeah, I would hope not either. But Gunther, man, I really enjoyed Gunther's promo. I really did with Sammy because it was more of I just really enjoyed it.
I got shout out to GIF. Yes, the chat is great, and then it's also also a wonderful reference to Charlie's Angels movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tom Green, the chat.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The chat is great.
The chat is great. The chat abides. That's why I'm a meld two movies together. But so, yeah. What was your thought on Gunther's? I thought Gunther
killed it, and Sammy's response traits like when God was like, "Look into my eyes." Right. I was like, "Yes, that's the Sami Zayn I love."
Yeah. And hey, remember when I talked about last week on that Seth and Drew have already sold the match and they can just go out, but they're still going to go out there and say a bunch of crap?
He came back with a vengeance this week because that T-shirt is it's everything, man. Right. I'm really tempted to go buy it.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. But it just kind of was the same promo exchange. It was. I mean, but it's fine. I know they have to do what they have to do. The one thing, go ahead. Well, I was going to say this before I get to your boy. Just kind of same thing with Roxanne. I will say this, and then we'll get to your boy. All right. What did Jimmy say anything to Jay other than look at him with glaring eyes and look him up and down awkwardly?
It wasn't like a home run promo, but he said stuff that made sense. It's like I especially love that. It's like leaving the blood was your dad. I just followed you because I'm your brother. It's like.
Right.
But obviously that he got jealous,
Right. Yeah.
He felt that Jay overstepped his bounds when he went after Roman for tribal chief.
I just felt like it's awkward of him just like looking him up and down. And then so Solo is just going to be a jobber now? With how they're booking him?
Yeah. It's so much for getting to destroy John Cena,
Yeah, you destroyed John Cena, and now you're just going to get every Cody cutter ever.
Yeah.
Take the Okay, so that was the last thing there.
I tell you what, I cannot wait when CM Punk is on Raw coming up here because with everything that Drew has been, the way Drew has been trolling CM Punk lately, I cannot wait to see what CM Punk says to him in response. Because it's like he better be on the verge of resigning if he hasn't already, because the potential of this Drew McIntyre CM Punk feud post WrestleMania when Punk can be able to get back in the ring is going to be amazing. With this heel character Drew has versus babyface CM Punk, the promo war alone will be glorious, and then that's before they even get in the ring. So it's just I want it so bad.
Yeah, and speaking about our two beat, go ahead.
CM Punk said that he's going to be at WrestleMania.
And he's not wearing a sling anymore. They showed him doing the light thingy or whatever, and he doesn't. He's out of the sling. But I mean, he's on. I mean, that's pretty much at this point. I'm no doctor, but pretty much at that point.
I was thinking the same thing, or have Punk be on the commentary for at least some of the matches or something.
We've been saying that even before Drew was going to take on Seth. We were just like, have Punk be on commentary for the world title match. But we kind of was figuring it was going to be Drew at that point, since Drew has started really ramping up on that. So, it's we know us two kind of know what we're talking about sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes we're wrong. Most of the time.
No. Sometimes we're like our guesses are completely off, but other times we kind of nail it. So
kind of know what we're doing. And then speaking about our two people that we showed no bias towards on this show. I think it was Walt Culture had a list of like the non-wrestlers that are spearheading of why WWE or like wrestling has really hit another boom period, and they mentioned Roxanne and Drew. Just saying, just a little nugget, like a Stewie high voice.
Before we don't throw, here's another. This is a very interesting thought, Giv. I don't know if they go that route. I don't think he's going to interfere with the match. I think he's going to interfere without interfering. Yeah.
Think about it.
No, he can get in Drew's head at the commentary desk without having to lay a finger on him. And also,
unless he spills his Diet Coke, that's a shot in the past. If you remember that,
can you imagine Punk's reaction if he's on the commentary for this match? Drew wins the title, but then Damian Priest cashes in and takes the title from him.
Yeah, that's why I think it depends on what night the tag match is.
Yeah.
Because if you have the tag match the same night, what?
Well, no, it's already been determined. The tag match is night one, and that
then yes.
Drew Seth is night two.
Then yes, I mean obviously Drew Seth is night two. So yes, Damian Priest will probably cash in at WrestleMania, and then we have a weird CM Punk Seth Rollins. I don't know what's going to happen, because I'm thinking Seth and Jay, which we predicted, are going to be involved with the bloodline stuff at the end of the.
They can get back to Seth and Punk down the line. The Seth versus CM Punk versus Drew feud, it has to be more invested right now because of the amazing trolling Drew has done of CM Punk. It's like it's been set up. That feud has been set up perfectly so far, and I can't wait to see what Punk is going to do and say when he on Raw. I think it's this week, right?
Yes.
Yeah. This Monday. Yeah. Because Rock is going to be on
Raw.
First Raw.
Or he's going to be on Raw a couple weeks or this week.
Rock is going to be on Raw April 1st after Easter.
Okay.
So Punk is going to be back on this week's Raw because they're in Chicago. Duh. And they obviously are going to set up him being involved in WrestleMania somehow, even though he can't wrestle right now. So, which is the smart thing to do, because I mean, it's Punk. You don't leave him on the sidelines right now, even.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I like how we both saw it at the same time and said the exact same reaction.
I would hope so. I would hope that, because I think Jay's going.
Leave that up there.
No, the odds are Jay is most likely going to win this match, and maybe it'll maybe a wake up call for Jimmy. Who knows? But that's not a bad thought and / prediction there.
Yeah. Do you think The Rock turning against Roman at WrestleMania is out of the cards now?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think they're going to have him turn on this early.
With the whole like finger thing, they kind of went away with that.
I think people are looking into too much. I think you need to have them be on the same page for a little while, for like a couple more months, maybe later this year, or maybe around SummerSlam time, the cracks start to form, and then like give it a couple months, let obvious cracks start to form, and then a fallout happens, and then you can build toward Mania next year between the two of them.
Yeah, just here's a question to show my ignorance and just me missing. I forgot that they start. When did they start calling him the final boss? This past SmackDown?
I think he started calling himself. He referred to himself as final boss this week. Yeah. Yeah, it was really
Okay,
weird.
because I was like, when they started calling
That's the
him
other
the
thing,
final
like,
boss and stuff
how
on
is he the
SmackDown, I'm
final
like,
boss
hold on,
when
what did I miss
it's all
something?
about him beating Roman for the title. It's like that was my other problem. It's like, yeah. And the last thing, I'm glad that Becky's got the stuff with Nia over with, and now they can have Rhea and Becky have a little bit more head-to-head verbal action for over the next couple weeks.
So now
Because the fans are pumped for this match. I mean, you heard the reaction. Fans are pumped for this title match between them two of them. Although it's very clear that it's like Becky's still popular, but it's like Rhea. They really like Rhea right now.
Mm-hmm. When she came out, immediately people popped hard.
Yeah.
For Rhea,
Yeah.
which rightfully so. I mean, what it is, and I really liked the little. Speaking about the Judgment Day and stuff like that, look, Vince with the pole hat.
Andrade. They were talking with Andrade, so they're continuing this this angle where they're thinking of trying to recruit Andrade into Judgment Day. We're going to see where that goes.
Yeah, and JD finally like having a voice. It was kind of nice in that segment. He had a voice, but then didn't at the same time.
Oh yeah, that's right. Ricochet got to win for a change. He beat Dom and also made JD look like a bitch. So
also, if you saw the little back on Twitter, I didn't realize it when I was watching the match, but they showed a clip of Cole and like they have a camera or like a GoPro or whatever like on their desk just to catch little nuggets that they can put on social media. And one of the ones was where Ricochet did like a drop kick to Dom on the apron. And Michael Cole said he was quick as a puma, and then McAfee had like Pumas aren't known to be very quick as far as I know but they don't really talk about it, and they just both crack each other up just the way it was. But when I think about it, Michael Cole had a really good callback on Ricochet because he was once known as Prince Puma.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize that. I missed it until I saw that video. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. He was Prince Puma.
Andrade's been a little bland. Hopefully, this is going to give him some good character stuff because it's nice to have him back, but he hasn't lit the world on fire yet. So
yeah, he's calling himself the head of the table without calling himself the head. The head. I don't know. But no.
Oh yeah. No, that both him and Michael Cole's reaction to when Becky put Nia through the announce desk like that was really well done.
Yeah. I just like. I mean, you can just tell going up. Where did Gift basically was just like, damn, Raw is not boring anymore. About time. Yeah. And it's the kind of the same thing of just not having someone micromanage and make it his little playpen and telling and just basically he's just, hey Vince, guess what? You sucked on commentary. The only thing you had was it's gotta be Kane because that's just a funny soundbite. But you sucked on commentary, okay? You did, and then you sucked on commentary. Then you go back and you tell Michael Cole what to say, bar for bar, word for word, and people said Michael Cole sucked on commentary. Immediately when you didn't tell him what to do on commentary and you put him with Pat McAfee, who brings out the best in him, guess what? Michael Cole is now like the GOAT under JR. It's crazy how that happens on that. So that's my stern monologue for the night.
Yep.
All right.
All right. I think that covers everything on Raw unless there's anything else you want to bring up.
Nope. Prince Puma would be money for an action figure.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, it
Absolutely.
would. All right. People were saying that if Will Ospreay would have went to WWE, then he would just be booked like Ricochet. I'm like, I don't think so. No.
Because as you've seen, Will Ospreay is killing it with his promo work, which is light years ahead of Ricochet.
Yeah, Ricochet's mic work. There's a good thing he's really good in the ring. On that. So let's move on to a nice show in AEW.
Yeah, nice night. All right, here's a recap of what happened this week with AEW. Nothing too much important happened, Collision. I mean, there was a really good match between Bryan Danielson and Shibata. That's worth checking out. Otherwise, nothing really memorable from that show. So, a little different this week with Dynamite and Rampage were back to back this Wednesday. So we'll start with, of course, AEW Dynamite. Mercedes Moné opened the show again this week, cutting a promo following up what she said next week and said that warned that Julia Hart and Sky Blue better beware for sticking their nose in her business since she's got unfinished business with Will Nightingale due to her getting injured in a match against Will last year, which put her out of action for quite a while. The lights went out, and Julia and Sky Blue attacked Mercedes, but Willow and Chris Stanley came down with chairs to hold them off. The lights went out again, but when they came back, Willow was in a stance of looking like she was going to hit Mercedes with the chair, which Mercedes didn't like, and Willow saying that that's not what it looked like. Then we had AEW Continental Championship match. Eddie Kingston defending against Kazuchika Okada, and hell of a match. Eddie put up a fight, but in the end, Okada hit him with the Rainmaker for the victory and become the new AEW Continental Champion, much to the Young Bucks' delight as they were watching backstage with Tony Khan. Swerve cut an interview promising that he's coming for Samoa Joe, of course. We heard from Willow Nightingale, Chris Statlander hyping up their street fight against Julia Hart and Sky Blue in Rampage later in the evening. Monet rode up and thanked Chris Statlander for having her back out there, but had less than kind things to say to Willow Nightingale. Then we had Chris Jericho taking on Hook. And Hook defeated Jericho with a small package, pick up the victory. We had a pre-taped promo from Adam Cole Bebe saying that he was very disappointed Wardlow did not defeat Samoa Joe for the AEW title last week. He had one job and he failed. So now he says Wardlow has a new job. That's to make sure the Undisputed Kingdom keeps the gold that they currently have. And then maybe he will forgive him for his mistakes. But saying that, he only wants what's best for Wardlow, of course. Will Ospreay came out to talk to Tony Schiavone, cut a promo on Bryan Danielson, hyping up their match, and said that to prove a point, he will be facing Katsuyori Shibata in a one-on-one match next week on Dynamite. Then we had a tag match, Deonna Purrazzo and Thunder Rosa teaming up against Mariah May and Timeless Toni Storm, AEW Women's Champion. Thunder Rosa actually won by pinning Toni Storm and giving the babyface the victory, but Deonna looked a little irritated that Rosa got the pin on Toni after the match. Then we had Swerve taking on Butcher. Swerve, of course, won. Got a promo against Samoa Joe afterwards. Samoa came out and said that he's going to, despite everything, he's going to give Swerve what he wants. But then Don Callis, all people interrupted, saying that people seem to be forgetting that Takeshita is got the same amount of wins as Swerve and has been is undefeated outside the Callis family. So he feels that he should be in the title picture. So Swerve will be taking on Tenosuke Takeshita to see who's going to get their hands on Samoa Joe for the title. And that match will be next week. Then we got to the Dynamite main event, much anticipated I Quit match for the TNT Championship as Christian Cage defended against former friend and tag team partner Adam Copeland, the Rated R Superstar. Lots of good stuff in this crazy spot. It looked like he had the match won, but of course then Kill Switch and Nick Wayne and Mama Wayne all were teaming up on him, trying to screw him out of the match. But this time, Adam had some backup as Daddy Magic and Daniel Garcia came out to help. They neutralized Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus, handcuffing them into the corners to take them out of the match. Mama Wayne ran away in fear. And then they handcuffed Christian into one of the other corners and allowed Copeland to do whatever he wanted to, including multiple crotch shots to Dick Kit Skitty. And then he pulled out the spike, the barbed wire laced wooden board, used it to repeatedly hit Christian in the crotch with it until Christian finally uttered the words "I quit." giving Adam the win and becoming now a 2-time AEW TNT champion. The match actually ran over the time for Dynamite and was concluded just in time at the start of Rampage. So the Bullet Club Gold cut a promo from a pool about what they did to Darby and the Acclaim last week, and mocking Darby being actually legit injured and taking credit for it. The Acclaim came out to cut a promo in response. They're going to get their payback on the Bang Bang Gang soon enough. Then we had a tag team championship tournament wildcard match, determined who would get into the tournament. The Best Friends, Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta, took on the Don Callis family of Kyle Fletcher and Powerhouse Hobbs. Best Friends picked up the victory after Hobbs was taken out. Orange hit Kyle Fletcher with the orange punch to pick up the victory. Shibata took on Kevin Matthews. This was pretty much a squash. Really quick match. Takeshita took on Rocky Romero, the Best Friends. Takeshita picked up the victory with the Falcon Arrow. And then we got our Rampage main event. Julia Hart and Sky Blue taking on Chris Statlander and Will Nightingale in a tag team street fight. Women went all out, putting themselves through tables, using thumbtacks. But Sky was able to, Will got into it. Will definitely drivered her off the apron through some tables, and it was down to just Julia versus Statlander in the ring. She went to 450, Julia on top of some chairs, but she missed, allowing Julia to slap her into a Heartless and too incapacitated to help, and Chris Statlander tapped out to Heartless, giving the heels the victory to end the show. So, quite a night of wrestling from AEW. So that's all that happened this week on AEW television.
I keep forgetting how like just personality Okada has, because when we held up the title belt, and then they just started doing the pyro, and he was just like, "What the crap?" and then just smiles like, "Oh yeah, that's right, it's me." I just forgot how much personality.
Yeah, I also forgot
really
to mention Pac came out after the match, and so Pac Okada, give that to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a hell of a match.
He's so damn smooth. Okada's so damn smooth in the ring.
That's another banger match alert.
Yeah.
Okada versus Pac.
That Christian Cage.
No, the I Quit match was great. The spot where he put Christian in a Boston Bruins jersey, and he put on a Maple Leafs jersey, and they brawled inside the penalty box.
Yeah,
it's fantastic stuff.
Yeah. I like how they did the Adam Cole. I was expecting more from Wardlow. I'm like,
it seems clear that this is building toward Wardlow going back to babyface and turning on the Undisputed Kingdom. Now that Cole is punishing him,
right,
for failing to beat Samoa Joe, and I love how he quickly you're like, you were supposed to deliver. I mean, you were supposed to. It's like
exactly. I like how they had that Christian had 2.0 kind of come out and help them there, just to give them something to do on the show, because I mean those guys can cut a promo and they can put on a good match. I feel like they're waiting in the wings a lot of times.
Definitely a TV match of the year contender for sure. Yes, it definitely was not nice as a credit.
No, I'm surprised he was able to use it that way. I was like, wow, they actually let him use it.
Yeah, it really was a good blow off match to the feud, and hopefully it's over with. And although some matches are kind of obviously coming but not official yet, but Dynasty's shaping up to be a pretty damn good card. I mean, it's like Swerve and Takeshita are going to have a banger match next week, and Swerve's going to win that, and so it'll be Swerve versus Mojo for the title. We got Ospreay versus Danielson, Okada versus Pac. The finals of the tag team tournament are going to happen. at the pay-per-view. Looks like we're gonna get Julia versus Willow. Not sure about who Tony's gonna get. Maybe Thunder Rosa with Thunder Rosa getting the victory.
I was gonna say Thunder.
Yeah, and also seeds of Deanna turning on Thunder Rosa because she was pretty miffed that Thunder Rosa got the pin on Tony and she didn't. They made sure to focus on her facial reactions with the camera work after match. I gotta say the production work that they've been doing on Dynamite lately they've really stepped it up. They're really doing some different things, like what WWE's been doing on their shows ever since Kevin Dunn went bye. It's like I like what I'm doing. I think that may be a little too obvious, but I won't be surprised if it's the Young Bucks versus FTR in the finals, because they're going to pull their EVP shit. I think you can guarantee the Bucks are going to be in the finals. Because let me bring up the bracket real quick. I got it saved here. Just posted.
While he's bringing up the bracket, it's too. This was the complaint that we had about Deanna. It was too early to have them.
Here are the first round matches: Young Bucks against Private Party. Young Bucks. Then Undisputed Kingdom against Best Friends. I'm going to assume Best Friends are going to pull off the upset to further that like Warlow doesn't do his job and they lose the tag match, so they don't advance in the tournament. Because Undisputed Kingdom versus Young Bucks, that's not going to work. So I see Best Friends advancing. Then we got Ricky Starks and Big Bill against Top Flight. I'm going to assume Ricky and Big Bill, but they're probably not going to make it out of the next round after that. FTR versus Injury, FTR. So
it should be the Bucks FTR.
Yeah, I think you're right on, Geff. I don't see anything else but Young Bucks versus FTR in the finals with the way how the bracket's set up. Unless there's some like shocking upset.
Right. I don't see it.
No, Bucks for sure. The other side, who knows? But most likely FTR.
Yeah. But Jeremy's brought up this point too. Is Tony maybe gets? We said this about Deanna. It was too early.
Yeah.
So
I don't think Mercedes Tony's going to happen yet. They haven't even hinted that. She's already really pissed off at Julia Hart of all people, and they've definitely foreshadowed her and Willow having a match. It's like she was all like, "Hey, Chris, thanks for helping me." Willow, so it's like she made it clear she's got the beef with Willow is there and it's legit. I love Stokely's like, "Hey, what do you got to worry about? You just she broke her ankle against you."
Right.
Stokely.
Yeah. So this is gonna be the first ever hour-long match that only has one pinfall. It's the Iron Man match that only has one pinfall, and it's at the end. That's just what I think.
Yeah.
Have they ever faced each other?
The problem too is this is why I think Warlow. I don't see how Warlow's ever going to get properly over. It's just like it's like it's start and stop, back and forth. It's like you might as well book his ticket to Stanford at this point.
Well, to Florida, because that's where he's going to go.
Same. I'm also expecting Ricky Starks to bail when his contract's up.
Yeah, I mean, on that. So, just the face to heel too quick, and it's and after he cut that promo,
it's true that and he's really damn good in the ring. It's just like
right. What did he do to Tony Khan?
I don't know.
You have to figure this out.
Yeah.
What did he do? Because even if Adam Cole was healthy, we'd still be in the same situation.
Yeah.
Where he's the heater and not a star.
Right.
So it's still, the booking decision still doesn't make sense for that. Because, and then, and Kyle O'Reilly's trying to do his own thing where he should be in the Wardlow spot and not Wardlow. Mm-hmm. But I guess they had to do something with him.
Yep.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm very interested to see how long Edge is going to hold on to the TNT title. We shall see. I'm sure he's going to put somebody over and give him the title in the near future. Maybe Daniel Garcia. That'd be kind of cool. Because I was kind of hoping he beat Christian at the last pay-per-view, but Rampage wasn't too bad. Definitely the street fight was definitely the best match in the Rampage hour. Good main event, good stuff. Yeah, more seeds of breakup between Statlander and Willow were definitely set up in this match too. Yeah, so gonna be interesting to see where that's gonna go.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was 3 hours, but still, Dynamite was Rampage was decent. Dynamite was really damn good. And plus, we're getting Ospreay. Next week's gonna be nuts. We got Swerve versus Okada, and then Ospreay versus Shibata. Jesus.
Yeah.
It's like chickens for the wrestling fans still next week, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. And do you think Swerve does go over on Samoa Joe at Dynasty?
I hope so.
I mean, I hope so, but I'm just like the way they like to do long reigns.
I don't think they can't wait too long to pull the trigger on Swerve because
Ospreay and Okada
because Ospreay is really fucking over, and if Tony doesn't put Ospreay in an AEW title match in the main event of All In Wembley, he's an idiot.
Let's see. Is there any other? Maybe. What do you think the stip will be?
I don't know if there's gonna be a stip. I don't feel like there needs to be one. But I guess I could see that. I think Gift's thinking that because of the chain. He's been using
because he was using the chain at
and also threatening to choke him out.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah. It feels weird to do a dog collar match when it doesn't involve CM Punk.
Maybe we might. I would like. It would be nice to see both MGF and Adam Cole Bebe back in the ring. As soon as possible. MGF has been social media silent ever since World's End, so we have no idea how his recovery rehab of the shoulder is going, because he was trying to rehab it to avoid surgery, because surgery would have meant he's going to be out for the majority of this year. So, so we're hoping we'll find out hopefully soon if the rehab is successful and he's healed and ready to go. Hopefully he'll be back anytime soon.
And we haven't heard anything about the bidding war of 2024 either.
Nope.
So that's also intriguing to see where that goes, because no one's talking about it.
No. So, maybe we'll hear about it again when he's actually back on television.
Yeah. I mean, it was silently said like at the end of last year that he's been saying that as a thing, but when he left, did the promo and then left and came back as the devil, he already re-signed.
In fact, we haven't heard anything about that, and that WWE hasn't reached out, hasn't talked to him. There has been absolutely no report from anybody, SRS, nobody that WWE has talked to MGF about.
So it makes me think he re-signed at the end of last year around like
we would have heard something if he was a 100% free agent. There would have been a whisper of something, but there hasn't. So I think that the silence of WWE not talking to MJF is more evidence that he re-signed and that he's going to be back in AEW once he's healthy.
Yeah. Anything else you want to touch on with AEW?
No. Lots of interesting stuff.
Yeah. Solid.
Good build. Dynasty shaping up to be a good card for sure.
Freaking just the Ospreay staring down Danielson, and they
already sold me on Ospreay versus Danielson, but it's like there's gonna be a lot of other good matches on the show, but that's the one everyone's gonna be looking forward to. Everyone's really like that. It's like the people are expecting that to be a 5-star banger match.
Meltzer gave it a 5-star banger match just when they stared each other, just because Ospreay's in it. So because back in the day, Meltzer was big on that Danielson could do no wrong, and now Osprey is his new baby boy. So you put both of them together.
He'll probably give it 10 stars.
Meltzer's like Randy Moss from that one episode of South Park. I'm not going to say what it is, but you know. That's what Meltzer's feeling like with that match. So, not gonna bring it up. That's not going any more detail. If you know what that picture is of Randy Marsh at that one episode, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to NXT.
Yeah, you know you got plenty to say about this week. All right, here's a recap of what happened on this week's episode of NXT as the build to Stand and Deliver show on WrestleMania weekend continues. Opening match was Roxanne Perez, newly turned heel, taking on Tatum Paxley. Tatum trying to get payback on Roxanne for attacking and hurting Lyra 2 weeks ago. And no surprise, Roxanne won this match, made Tatum tap out, did a crossface. After the match, she got a mic and told Ava to come and give her and hand over the NXT title. But Lyra Valkyria came out, arm in a sling, to fight Roxanne. They got into it, but Roxanne was able to put her in crossface and try to hurt the injured arm, so to speak, a little bit more. Stood tall over her, holding up the title. Ava went to see Lyra in the back afterwards. Lyra demanded that Ava make her versus Roxanne for the NXT Women's title official for Stand and Deliver, and it is. Open Family scheduled to come out, but Josh Briggs came out instead, try to put it through the ring. Kevin said to speak so Briggs said he's just a little bit tougher. Dijak came out and interrupted, saying that he wants to get a shot at Femi for the North American title. There's a great bit where Briggs called Dijak out for dress up with Shaft, and Dijak was like, "What? Like showing Jack's off?" I don't know if you can see this, but I'm not white. A really funny line. So it looks like we got a couple of contenders here for the North American title. Sean Spears showing watching what he did to Raquel last week with Joe Gacy hiding nearby watching him. Crazy likes crazy, I guess. Then we had match to determine who will get into the number one contenders match, to determine who will face the Wolf Dogs, Corbin, and Braun Breaker at Stand and Deliver for the tag team titles. Axiom and Nathan Frazier took on the No Quarter Catch crew. Good match. Axiom and Nathan Frazier came out on top, so they're in the number one contender match, three-way. Alpha Academy came up to the Wolf Dogs during an interview and challenged them to a match next week, and if they can beat them, they're going to get into the tag team title match to Stand and Deliver. So Rucka, back from injury, took on Brindley Reese with Soul hitting her with her awesome Snow Satchel finisher for the victory. But after the match, Blair Davenport came out and attacked Sol Rucka, taking her out with a knee shot. So, yeah, that feud is on. Gigi Dolan was talking with Red Sinclair, not happy about losing to Ariana Grace by disqualification last week with the ball shot. And Ariana came in and made it clear that she's expecting her to honor the terms of their match and that she's going to now be Miss NXT in training to Ariana Grace going forward. Oh, boy. D'Angelo family came out to cut a promo about Tony challenging Ilya Dragunov for the NXT title at Stand and Deliver. Ilya popped up the screen to rebut, and Tony said that next week Dragunov's going to be taking on Stacks as a roadblock, so to speak. Heritage Cup title match came up with Riley Osborne taking on Drew Gulak, who was defending the title this time for the No Quarter Catch crew. Things were looking like he could pull it off, but JC Jane and her new buddy, Jasmine Nix, came out. JC distracted the ref, allowing Nix to help Gulak cheat to win and get the victory to keep the Heritage Cup with the No Quarter Catch crew. Brooks Jensen stormed out of the arena. Although Seth Fallon tried to talk sense to him, but he said that he needs to leave because he needs to figure out who he is. Kelly Jordan came up to Fallon Henley ranting about what Keon James and Izzy Dane have been doing here too. And Fallon's like, okay, let's go talk. I think I can help you. Thea Hale stormed into Ava's office and demanded a match with Jasmine Nix next week after what happened to her buddy Riley. And so that's set up for next week. Duke Hudson also found out that he's in a qualifying match to determine who will be challenging for the North American title at Stand and Deliver. He'll be. Then we had the OC, the Good Brothers, taking on Tank Ledger and Hank Walker. Winner would get into the triple threat match, number one contendership. No surprise, the OC got the victory with the Magic Killer. Then we had our main event coming up, but footage was shown of Fallon Henley and Kelani Jordan getting into a brawl with Keon James and Izzy Dame in the back, setting up obviously a tag match probably next week. And then our main event, Trick Williams took on Noam Dar. Good match. Trick, of course, came on top. He called out Carmelo Hayes, but instead his security goons showed up. But Carmelo was disguised as one of the goons and was able to jump Trick from behind. And he and his security goons beat Trick down. And Carmelo stood tall over Trick to end the show. So that's all that happened this week on NXT.
All right. Well, we'll save Roxanne for last, or at least at the last part. So over under, what are the odds or percentage that Tama Tonga shows up at Stand and Deliver to help the OC win the tag team titles?
Highly likely because I think it's pretty obvious that the Good Brothers are going to win the number one contender match and face the Wolf Dogs at Stand and Deliver because why not? Right. It'll be a hell of a tag match. So I can totally see that happening.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm thinking that they're going to go with it, with Tama and introduce Tama.
You know, I hate to say this, but I think right now I'm agreeing with it. That right now so far the build between Ilya and Tony it has been mass so far. So they still got some time, but yeah, it's not wowing me. I mean, it's not like horrible, it's not great. It's kind of like just okay.
Yeah. So what do you think Stand Deliver is going to end up being? We got Trick, you get what I'm saying. Trick and Carmelo.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the greatest female wrestler of all time versus whoever the champion is at this point.
Hey, no.
Lyra. We got Lyra. We're gonna have the OC versus the War Dogs. What else kind of shapes the card, do you think?
Yeah, it's like right now there's only 4 matches that are locked in. Tag title match, Trick versus Mello, women's title match, Lyra versus Roxanne, and Tony versus Ilya for the NXT title. We're going to get a North American title match. Femi's going to be defending against either one or maybe more than one person, depending on how things shake out. Oh, also, shout out, D-Jack is still killing it. That response to Briggs calling him Shaft is like, in case you hadn't noticed, I'm white. That was fucking hilarious. God, I love D-Jack. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe a Heritage Cup match. I don't know. Also, I could see. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to say what other. I'm trying to think of what other feuds are Stand and Deliver worthy right now.
Is Stand and Deliver on Friday?
It's going to be on Saturday afternoon before night one of Mania.
Okay. Is it going to be live or is it taped?
It's going to be live.
Okay. Just I forgot when that was, but yeah. Do you think Tama Tonga is going to have a different name, or he's going to have his Tama Tonga?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with Jeremy.
Yeah,
I'm with Jeremy.
Yeah,
on that. I was when they put the belt on him. I didn't know, but he's doing very well.
he's getting better on the mic. I like how his promo work has been improving. And his in-ring work is also, it's like he's coming along really good, man. It's like so it's like it's like he could be like get like to like Braun level awesomeness if they keep this up.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I'm really liking Obafemi's been doing really good ever since he won the North American title. Well,
I meant to click the switch to that and not your actual. And I saw NXT, so I'm like batting like 1,000 on the past month of clicking on the wrong thing. It's all right.
Like Thea, JC Jane are obviously going to have a grudge match. I don't know if it'll be on Stand and Deliver. Oh yeah, I like bring up what Gift just said. I could totally see that happening. Yeah, that would kick ass. Because like right now it's like you got Kalani and Fallon against Kiana James and Izzy Dame. The stuff between Spears and Holland isn't over yet, and now we got Joe Gacy kind of getting drawn into that because him just popping up in the locker room after Sean Spears left, that obviously is going to lead somewhere. That's like, which is good because like the stuff with Dijak so worth. Dijak obviously clearly won that, so that's a good thing.
Right.
So we got 4 matches locked in. We're gonna have a North American time match. So that's 5. I can see maybe 1 or 2 more matches added in. They're not gonna stack. I don't think it'd be too much. I mean, it's it's gonna be like a 2.5 to 3 hour show normally anyway. So yeah, there's some options. I think we're interested to see who Owa is gonna defend North American title at. Because like Briggs is involved, Dijak's involved. Like it's like it's like either it's gonna be a 1-on-1 or maybe a 3-way. Who knows? We'll find out. But yeah, there's some interesting. They got stuff moving along here. Most of it's working. Let's see. Try to think of anything else before we get to the Roxanne Lyra feud. I can't think of anything else. Oh, nice to see Soul Rucka back in the ring.
I was getting ready to say like the Soul being back in the ring.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yep.
And she's got a ready-made feud with Blair Davenport because Blair Davenport was the parking lot attacker, and then was her framed it so that she was the reason why she was out injured for so long. So they got a ready-made feud going there, so that has some potential too.
Still one of the coolest finishers I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, that's right, guys. If you want to join us in the Discord, we pretty much talk about wrestling like every time, all the time. So if you want some great dialogue but in funny ribs and stuff like that, join the Discord and you'll see the Ruckus Wrestling tab where we show stuff and give our opinions and talk about that Booker's announcing this week was not that great. So on there, we have a great discussions and don't get pissed off at each other. It's a fun time.
I think that covers everything outside of Roxanne Lyra. So
I will let you give me your actual unbiased opinion, and then I'll just say that you're wrong if you say that anything bad about her.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. I liked what happened this week much better because
I was getting ready to shut the stream down if you said. I'm sure. Go ahead.
It's she I like that she hit Paxley with Pop Rocks. Was like, no, I'm gonna hurt you, and then put her in the crossface to win the match, not with Pop Rocks. So, and then back on the Lyra's done. Give me the title. And then Lyra coming out to really good reaction. The fans were definitely into it. They really liked them going ahead. Paxley tried to help, but at this point it makes sense. They're selling that she's like she's not 100%, and so Roxanne's going right after the arm to soften her up, so make it easier for her to win the title at Stand and Deliver. And I like how like Gabe is. I don't know. It's like no, I don't care if it's like I'm going to be 100%. Give me the match with Roxanne.
Right.
Okay. It's like yeah, about damn time. So, yeah, this was much better for her. It's like, Roxanne did a really good job this week with the heel work, both in the ring and outside the ring. So, yeah, no, this build between the two of them, it's starting to cook, in my opinion. So,
yeah. Yeah. So once she wins the title, she'll be the greatest women's NXT champion of all time. I don't care who's won it before. So once she wins it, she'll retire. We've talked about this, GIF. Okay, here's the thing. Once Roxanne wins it, she will go on, and they'll have to do like what they did with Solo Sikoa and have her give it back. But the thing is, they'll retire this version of the NXT Women's Championship, and the next Women's NXT Championship will be the "Sorry, you're not as good as Roxanne" NXT Women's Champion. That's exactly what the title is. And so that's what they'll have to do because it's written in the stars. I saw them one night next to Orion's belt. So that's just
Orion's belt.
Shout out to Orion's belt. Yeah, it was around the cat's neck at one point. Just so you know. Yeah, it was. You watched Men in Black? It was around Orion's belt. Yeah, it wasn't the constellation. But anyway. That's exactly what's going to happen. I talked to Sean. I told him I was going to boycott the show until we got what we were supposed to happen. And now we're getting it. So I'm actually watching the show again. If she retires,
yeah, somehow he got HBK's number. I don't know how, but
yeah, it's 555 heartbreak or something. I don't know. So yeah, that's too many numbers. I don't care. Don't do the math.
Seriously. But seriously though.
But seriously though, yeah. I talked to Sean. I talked to Mr. Hickenbottom. Yeah, that's what I call him. We call it. I'm Mr. Maber to him. He's Mr. Hickenbottom to me. It's fine. But no. This segment was really solid. Definitely a good step in the right direction when the stumbles that we had the week before, and the way they kind of 555 sexy boy. That's his burner. Okay. That's not his actual. That's his burner. By the way, that was when that's his burner for when you want to look at his playgirl stuff. All right, that's a really shot in the past. I don't know why we went there, but thank you, Giff, for making that go in my mind again. Anyway, what I was saying, this was definitely the way her heel work was with Tatum. I'm just not gonna win. I'm gonna hurt you, because I am pissed off.
Yeah, she's pissed off and she wanted to send a message to Lyra.
Right. So it's just going full AJ Lee lethal. That's where spoiler alert, the reason I like Roxanne so much is because she reminds me of AJ Lee. And that's the reason why Roxanne is really buddy with CM Punk and stuff.
Roxanne has made it clear that AJ is one of her heroes. So
right. So
that's why her and Cora Jade are CM Punk and AJ's kids.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, and is this a swan song? I hope not. I'd love to see her on the main roster, but I think because we talked about this in some previous episodes when Cora Jade got hurt, I think they keep Roxanne there because they need that because really don't have those other 2 or 3 female wrestlers, even though that is a stacked roster. I will give them that, but you don't have that level that Cora was on. Tiffany just went.
Yeah, Tiffany was their number one. Was like the number one heel they had. Followed pretty closely, I think, by Cora Jade was getting there before she got hurt. Because it was very obvious they were building toward Lyra Cora Jade, and it was probably going to happen to Stand and Deliver, but going Cora toward ACL, they had to course correct, and now that's like they inserted Roxanne in her place and had Roxanne turn heel. And I think that was, even though it wasn't the original plan, I think going heel is definitely going to help Roxanne in the long run because it gives her new take and new character work, stuff to do. It helps, playing able to. If you can play both heel and face effectively, you're gonna have a good career. It's like you can be able to play either side effectively. I mean, some people are born to be baby faces. I mean, look at like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat had a really damn good career, and he was He was always a babyface. It's like, it's like, just because of who he was, it's like you couldn't picture him being a bad guy. It's like, some people are like that. You know, so it's like Cena. Well, no, Cena started out as a heel, but then after
he was heel because his career was in the drain, so he did the rap thing, and people disliked him at first. But he was heel, which got him over, and then he just went face for 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so. Sorry. It's like I forget when he was Dr. Thugonomics when he first debuted. He was heel.
Yeah, my favorite version of John Cena. But yeah,
but I think because Cora's out and Tiffany went up to the main roster, it left a bit of a hole for. They need some really good talent who are going to be heels in the division for a while. They're building Blair Davenport and Kiana James to get there, but they're not there yet. Blair's kind of close because she had a little bit of a feud with Lara, but it's like she's still got unfinished business with some other people. Soul Ruckus being one of them, and Nikita Lyons. And unfortunately, Nikita, just when they were getting back to that feud, Nikita got hurt again. Don't know how serious it is. She's been off TV for a little while. We don't know when she's going to be back. So it makes sense that now they're moving over to deal with Soul Ruckus because Soul Ruckus was one of the other people that was one of her parking lot attack victims besides Nikita Lyons. So that gives them something to do. So it's like there's a bit of a hole. There's plenty of good baby faces, like Thea's gone back to Thea's gone back to being going back to the full baby face she was before. And she's gonna be JC Jane's gonna be busy with her, so she's not anywhere near the title picture. And you got Fallon Henley and Kalani Jordan. Lola Vice, I think that still needs some work. I think she's eventually gonna get there, but it's like with Cora Jade out, they need to keep Roxanne there for just a little bit longer to be like the top heel for the NXT Women's Division.
I don't think she's going to be there for very long, but you just need to keep her.
I'd say sometime maybe later this year, I could see her eventually getting called up, but it's like I don't think it's going to. We'll see what happens because it's like, you would think that Lyra's going to be able to overcome the odds and keep the title, but you don't know.
No.
It's like, plus, I think it would be cool to see Roxanne have the championship again as a heel. Because
preach it, brother, preach it.
I think that would be good because there's plenty of baby faces for her to work with. There, it's like there's not a lot of top heels, and as much as I have come to be a fan of Lyra Valkyria, I'd be okay with her dropping the title at this point. She's had they've given her opponents, they've given her stuff to do. She's developed more of a personality. She's gotten better on the mic. So I think this feud has been good for both of them because this allows both Roxanne and Lyra to really hone their mic skills and character work because their in-ring work is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were having one hell of a match before Lola Vice cashed in her breakout contract, Money in the Bank style contract, and turned it into a triple threat at the last pay-per-view Vengeance Day. So now the two of them, one-on-one, no other shenanigans. I think it has potential to be a hell of a match. So if I was booking it, it's like as much as I like Lyra and it's maybe hold the title maybe a little bit longer. At this point, I think it's better for the division if Roxanne takes the title and B's the heel champion that the division needs because there's plenty of baby faces to throw at her to help elevate them up.
Right.
Like Fallon Henley. Fallon Henley has not had an NXT title shot yet.
Nope.
It's like they're obviously they've been slowly building her up a little bit more. They're giving her stuff to do. it's like she came out on top on that feud with Tiffany before Tiffany got called up to SmackDown. So it's like they obviously are very high on her. So it's like they've been giving her stuff to do. So it's not like it doesn't feel like she's at the wayside. She's been winning matches and stuff. So
yeah. So
the only person I don't know I don't know where Gigi Dolan is. This storyline with Ari Grace could help her or it could be complete garbage. I'm leaning toward garbage right now. I'll be honest. It's like I'm sorry to say, Tito, but your daughter is a character rubs me the wrong way right now. I find her just annoying. It looks like she's got some talent in the ring, but it's just like the character is not working for me right now. So we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. So a couple of things that thank you for that. A couple of things that I saw here. Number one, don't put that devil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't make me decide between the golden.
I don't think you're going to see AJ come back anytime soon.
No, but don't. That would be a dream feud, and also I won't know what to do. I wouldn't know what to do with my hands. Like I wouldn't know what to do there. Okay, so in his WWE career, yes, he's never been a heel, but he was part of the Filthy Animals and all that with Billy Kidman.
He had a brief heel stint in WCW, but that's about it. It was very brief.
Yeah, but it
didn't work, and they took his mask off, which was another fucking.
Yeah, which is another one dumb decision after dumb decision back in the WCW stuff.
We'll get to I agree with both. I think we're going to see more of Lash Legend because I think they're teasing something with Lash going face. It's because of the interactions with Trick Williams. She might break from Metaphor. And I agree that Lash Legend definitely has potential. She's been showing it, and also when Shotzi got injured and she went out there and had a complete audible match with Lyra on the fly. Was pretty impressive. Yeah, and she really needs something good because she's been nowhere.
I like Gigi, and I don't know what the hell.
I know. She's solid in the ring. I mean, she's not great, but she's good. So it's like, and I like that they've delved into her backstory before and stuff like that, some of her personal stuff. But it feels like they haven't figured out really what to do with her ever since her and JC Jane split as Toxic Attraction.
Unfortunately, I feel like it's going to be kind of what Johnny Gargano's situation was in the main roster. Is it's just not working, but the two of them together works. Now, not to say that Ciampa was getting over as a singles competitor.
Yeah,
but Gargano wasn't. They were
JC Jaden's had the better storyline with her getting associated with Chase U and befriending Thea Hale, but but then now that's gone completely south because she's showing still that even though she was helping them out and doing stuff, she's still a heel at heart and she's showing her true colors, and now Thea Hale's had enough of that shit.
Yeah. So no, but I mean, there's just when The Rock's on TV, guys, it's going to be great. And you're going to get an 8 to 12 minute Instagram promo, which again, it seems like it's annoying, but it's not annoying at the same time because we need to understand you don't know what you got till it's gone. And when we don't get The Rock all the time this much, we might get, him showing up doing a couple things, but us as just big wrestling fans and also Marks, it's just he shows up, takes over the party when no one really needed him at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But if he wasn't there, it would be fun, but it wouldn't be as fun. I'll put it that way. With how I feel, because I mean, it just thinks that he's doing, and I don't know if it has something to do with Rock and The Rock who he is and everything like that. It's helping Cody immensely, and I'll end with this, and then we can we kind of, but I just kind of with the whole Rock Roman Cody thing. And I don't think it's not hurting Seth at all. It was if CM Punk didn't get hurt, we wouldn't have this discussion of Seth's in the background. It just crap happens on that
Yeah,
one.
no, this WrestleMania card had to be shuffled more than once just because of injuries and even though Brock's name was not uttered in the lawsuit, it is very clear that a certain wrestler that was referred to as doing some very unsavory things with Janelle Grant it could only be Brock Lesnar, and it is no coincidence that he has not been seen and is not really referenced and was almost completely scrubbed from the WWE 2K24 game along with Vince.
Yeah. But yeah, no. It just with the Rock elevates. I'm sorry, he just does. He is a global icon.
Yeah.
And to sit there and be like, oh, I'm tired of the Rock. Well, you didn't like the fact that the Rock came in, and it's not really the Rock's fault. I blame them not putting the belt on Cody in WrestleMania 39. Honestly, it's not really the Rock's fault. We would have had the Roman versus Cody. We would have had the Roman versus Rock this year, and Cody would have faced somebody. It still would have been a great match. But the fact is, now you're belittling a guy who's held the title for over 1,300 days.
Yeah.
Supposed to be like the non-penetrable, immovable force. All this stuff. Rock comes in, and by the way, you're main eventing, but you can just not. You can say three things and then get pit, and then the internet's going to get pissed at you because you called Seth Rollins a crossdresser. That's been the freaking build for Roman Reigns. I am so intrigued of what's going to happen this SmackDown when Cody and Roman finally just,
because if they put restrictions on the Rock, it's like that hurts Rock because it's like the Rock is best when he's not filtered from the Attitude Era. It's like and plus and also it makes sense that since they've talked about how like he's on the board, why of course he can say things that other wrestlers couldn't do because he's on the board of directors. He's like he's got leverage and pull that people don't. So it's like yes, it's like that those rules do not apply to him.
No. But yeah, no, we talked about the Hollywood Rock theme, and a bunch of people were just like, it'd be better if he did the Hollywood Rock theme. And you know what? It is better. And the way he struts with the vests and kind of it's very nostalgia heel 1990.
Yeah.
Not was it what did he go heel? What 2002 with the Hollywood Rock?
Yeah.
2003, 2002. Gift Jeremy, help me out. It was like 2003 was Hollywood Rock, and then we had so he combined both heels.
Yeah.
And that Hollywood Rock heel run was still magical. With that, he just let loose, and then he had that one infamous thing of like, I'm supposed to be a heel, but I'm gonna let my little buddy say something, and it goes, if you smell, and then the little kid was like, la 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 la. I remember it just and like cracked the Rock up on that. So, but yes,
he does
1,000%,
because he's been overshadowed by the Rock for a while.
Yeah, and I think. And the thing is you've got to Triple H and them with their underlying storytelling. Thank you, Jeremy. It is 2003. Okay, I was close enough. I knew the 03 thing was there. But you have to with them noticing how things are online, the little scuttlebutts, stuff like that show online. They do focus on. They do actually pay attention to it, and they also know of underlying storytelling, which we haven't seen in quite some time, if ever, that I can remember of them the little nuggets that they do. And you have to think that they're going to say that Roman or Cody on Fridays being like, you've been away and you never show up and you think you're the big dog. Meanwhile, your cousin, the final boss, makes you look like you're second best or something like that. That has to be addressed this Friday. To plant the seeds of dissension between Rock and Roman. They're still going to win, but at least you'll have Rome. You have to make Roman catapult. I don't think it's going to be a hard thing to do, but as of right now, that was the one thing I noticed from SmackDown to Raw. I'm like, hold on, when did this become? Roman's got the title, right? Roman's a tribal chief. He
Yeah.
acknowledged a tribal chief.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
it don't feel like it.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what they're going with, but I think they're still trying to make sense of everything with also selling tickets.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, anything else?
No, I think that covers it.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us for another episode of Ruckus Wrastlin.
Appreciate it.
Obviously like, subscribe, join the Patreon, patreon.com/RuckusEV if you want to.
Thanks, guys, for being in the chat and for
Yeah.
saying good stuff. Appreciate it.
Yeah, hey, you all, everyone appreciate you all in the chat. Especially Chris and Jeremy. It helps.
Appreciate
It helps
you guys.
drive the conversation. It helps to make
Mhm.
the show even more. It give us more topics to talk about. Give us more things for us to go back and forth with. Because more that you bring up stuff that we maybe forgot or something like that makes the show more entertaining. So the chat is just as much a part of the show as me and Justin showing our faces every week, giving our 2 cents. So we do appreciate it for that. Leave a comment below what you think the card would be for Stand and Deliver. What you think Dynasty with the rest of the card with Dynasty. Maybe that's it. Maybe just get 5 things. I doubt it because there's always about 15 matches for every AEW pay-per-view. What you think the rest of the card is going to shape out with WrestleMania. Stay tuned. We are working on a WrestleMania preview show with a special guest.
Mhm.
With that, so it's just straight up. So once we know the card, basically the week of, we are planning on doing a WrestleMania show. So any questions you want, obviously jump on the Discord. It's always a great time there. We talk wrestling pretty much 24/7 on that channel, which I do enjoy. It makes me and Justin Toner smile every day. The video I do, we get a lot of interaction, and it's always a fun time. And it's a great time to be a wrestling fan. It really is. This is we're in the, I don't know what the age is, but it's like it's a new golden era of wrestling right now that we're dealing with, because we have at least 5 wrestling shows that put on at least some good quality stuff that keeps us focused every day and reminds us of why we love this business and why we like talking about it every week. You look in the like, subscribe. We will start working on our Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff as we grow. But thank you all so much, and we will see you all next time. And once I do the brand thing, because that's the thing, and then I'll do that.